Okay, today we're going to do Unit 4, Notes number 4, or you could say these notes are number 5, which is standard form. So we've talked about slope-intercept, which is y equals mx plus b, where m is our slope and our b is our y-intercept. Today we're going to introduce standard form, which is ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c normally are replaced with numbers. So we're going to talk about how to get that into slope-intercept form and also how to graph using standard form. So how do we find slope from standard form? We have to get y by itself. So we do that by doing inverse operations. So we have 6x plus 2y equals 14. We want to get this y by itself. So we need to move the 6x and the 2. We want to first move the 6x because we can easily move the whole thing. Opposite of a positive 6x is a negative 6x. So we're left with 2y equals 14 and negative 6x. You cannot combine because they are not like terms. So we're just going to write them next to each other. And then to get y by itself, you need to divide by 2. So you're going to get y equals 14 divided by 2 is 7. Negative 6 divided by 2 is negative 3x. Then if you guys remember, the number next to our x is our slope. So our slope equals negative 3. So we just have to be able to rearrange it so we can find our slope from this equation. Okay, let's do some examples. We have 2x plus y equals 10. We got to get y by itself, so we need to move the 2x. That's positive, so we have to subtract it. Cancels. We get y equals 10 minus 2x. Our y is by itself, so we don't have to do anything else, and so our slope is the negative 2. Okay, next one we have 4x plus 2y equals 10. So we want to move our 4x first, so we have to subtract it since it's positive. So we get 2y equals 10 minus 4x. And then to get y by itself, I need to divide both sides by 2. That cancels. I get y equals 10 divided by 2 is 5. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2x. So that is our answer. And then our slope is negative 2 because it's the number next to x. Next one, we want to add 3x to both sides because that's the inverse of a negative 3x. Get negative y equals 6 plus 3x. And then to get y by itself, we have to get rid of that negative sign, so we have to divide it by negative 1. So we get negative 6 minus 3x. And then our negative 3 is our slope. Okay, next problem, we have negative 2x minus 3y equals 10. So the first thing I want to do is move my 2x, so I need to do the opposite. So I need to add it since it's negative. Negative 3y equals 10 plus 2x. And then we have to divide both sides by negative 3. So I get y equals 10 divided by negative 3 is not going to simplify, so I'm just going to leave it as 10 over negative 3. And then 2 divided by negative 3 will also not simplify, so just make sure it's negative 2/3 x. Our slope is going to be the negative 2/3. Okay, next one I have x plus 3y equals 9. We need to start by moving the x. That's a positive x, so I'm going to subtract. We get 3y equals 9 minus x. And then I'm going to divide by 3. So you get y equals 9 divided by 3 is 3. Now there's a 1 in front of this x. That doesn't simplify, so you're going to have negative 1/3 x. So 1/3, or negative 1/3, is our slope. Next one, negative 3x minus 2y equals 6. So we're going to add 3x to both sides. We get negative 2y equals 6 plus 3x. And I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2. So you get y equals 6 divided by negative 2 is negative 3. 3 divided by negative 2 is not going to simplify, so keep your negative and just write 3 over 2x. So this is my slope, is the negative 3 over 2. Okay, so those are the examples. So you're like, how does that apply to what we're talking about? So on the next problem, you have to find the slope from the 3 different forms. This is how you are need to know it. You need to know how to find slope from a table, from a graph, and then if the equation is in standard form. So from our table, you are changed. From 5 to 5, we are not going up any, so plus 0. Negative 1 to 1, we're going up 2. So remember, we always do our y over our x. So we're going to have 0 over 2, which equals 0. Next one, you have to find 2 points. So we have our, this is a point and this is a point. Then we create our triangle. We rows 1, 2. We run 1. So if you guys remember, your slope is rise over run. This slope is going down, so it's negative 2 over 1, which equals negative 2. Our last one is what we just did. So we have to get y by itself. So we're going to subtract 4x. We get negative 3y equals 9 minus 4x. And then we have to get y by itself, so we divide by negative 3. So you get y equals negative 3, and then negative 4 divided by negative 3 is going to give you a positive 4/3 x. So on this one, our slope is the 4/3. 4/3 is the same as 1.3. I'm okay with either of those answers. So which slope is the steepest? This would be the steepest because it's the biggest number. Okay, let me know if you guys have any questions over that. Moving on. Graph from standard form. So whenever we're graphing from standard form, we're going to find the x and the y-intercept. So we're going to set our x value equal to our c and our y value equal to our c, and we're going to solve them. So this one, we're going to set our x equal to our c. So we're going to have 3x equals negative 6. Then we're going to set our y equal to our c also. And then we solve for both. So we're going to get x equals negative 2. And y equals 3. So we just had to divide both sides by the number in front of our x or y value. So this means our x-intercept is negative 2, 0, and our y-intercept is 0, 3. So we're going to graph those both on our graph. So we have our x-intercept is negative 2, y-intercept is 3, and then we draw the line in between those 2 points. And you're finished. So on this one, we're just finding our x and our y-intercept. Next one, we're going to do the same thing. So do x equals negative 8. And negative 2y equals negative 8. So x equals negative 8 is already done. To find y, we have to divide both sides by negative 2. You get y equals 4. So we have our x and our y-intercept. So our x is negative 8, 0. Our y is 0, 4. Plot both of these on the graph. So negative 8 is going to be a little bit off, so somewhere right in this vicinity. Then 0, 4. And then graph your line in between. Okay, last problem. We're going to have 4x equals negative 4. And negative y equals negative 4. So we're going to have x equals negative 1. And then y equals a positive 4. We're going to have -1 comma 0, 0 comma 4, and then graph these. So our x-intercept is -1, our y-intercept is 4, and then graph your line in between them, and you guys are finished. Okay, let me know if you guys have any questions on this. You guys can get started on your homework.